I think it's pretty fair to say that almost all of us from time to time have that feeling. We get that feeling in our gut and that feedback loop in our head where we ask ourselves, is what I'm doing really working? I think that happens to a lot of us, and it's pretty common from time to time where we're just asking, hey, whether we're in a traditional job, a non-traditional job, an entrepreneur, started a business, part of a business, a new business, part of a new organization, part of a great group of people doing something really extraordinary. I think it's fair to say that many of us still have that question from time to time, is what I'm doing working? You probably have had it. And I have a story I'd like to share because I recently learned a really good lesson by watching a video with Kobe Bryant that I'd like to share. It actually taught me a couple good lessons to help me move through that feeling of, is what I'm doing working? So if you get that feeling from time to time, I think you'll relate to this story. And you should stick around for one or two of the takeaways. But, I want to say that while I've had that feeling quite a bit in the last few years, in the last 3 to 4 months since pivoting to being a communication coach from career coaching, late this past spring, I've never felt more in flow. Like I really feel in flow and aligned with where I'm going, the impact I want to make, the message I deliver, the value that I bring when I do a workshop or have a coaching session. I really feel in flow, like this is going in the direction I want it to go. And there's a ton of long-term impact ahead. But I still get that question in my head from time to time, is what I'm doing really working? So not that long ago, I watched a video. I saw a video with Kobe Bryant, former NBA player, and definitely a future Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats. And pains me to say that. I never really loved him in his career, but he was a great player, and I've learned more about him in the last year or so with his business ventures now and a lot of the videos he's done. And it was really interesting because I was watching this video not that long ago with Kobe. He was talking about a point early in his career. And he was in his first or second year, something like that. He was definitely in the league, but early in his career. And he knew he had all these physical gifts, but he remembered and he related the story so well. He said, he looked at Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, two of the all-time greats, all-time greats. And he looked at them and he asked himself the question, can I get to the level where those two were at, and can I get to that level? He knew he had similar physical gifts, but can he get to the level of a Magic Johnson and a Michael Jordan? Now, this is where it gets really interesting because we all know, I know, we all seen it in videos. I've shared this, you've seen it, you've said it probably yourself many times. We can't compare ourselves to others. Comparing ourselves to others is not healthy. It's borderline toxic. It doesn't serve us well. But I don't think that's what Kobe was doing in that case. In fact, I'm 99.9% sure that's not what he was doing at all. I think what Kobe was doing is something we can all learn from, and that is this, that he looked at two men who not only had a lot of success on the court, but established themselves as leaders and reached a level that very few reach. Some could say Michael Jordan, and I agree with this, is the best basketball player ever. So these guys were at the elite of the elite. And I think what Kobe was doing, he was looking at them and saying, I have similar physical gifts. They're men, they're guys, they're people I can relate to based on where they come from. Can I go down the path that they did and reach that level that they reached? And that just really resonated with me. I thought that was really powerful, and I thought about it, and I've marinated on this on and off since seeing that video. I've even gone back and watched it a few times. And I really believe that that's a healthy, helpful way to move through our moments of, is what I'm doing working? I'll give you an example as it relates to me too, because, I admire people. There's several people in my life who I know directly who I really admire and have learned a lot from. And there's a good handful of virtual mentors I've learned a lot from. The Ed Miletts, the Simon Sinek's, the Lewis Howes, the Marie Forleos, the Gary Vaynerchuk's, the Tim Ferrisses, the Aubrey Marcus's, Ryan Holiday, Tom Bilyeu, maybe a few more that I'm missing. I don't want to be like any of those people. I'm not looking to compare myself or be like them. But I do look at them, and you know what I see? I see relatable connection points in each of their stories. And I see impact that they're making now that I would love to strive to. Okay, so that's really, really important. Think about that, okay? Points of their lives that I relate to and levels of impact that they're making now, and not to mention, by the way, the fulfillment they're creating for themselves that I really admire. So I'm not comparing myself. Look at it this way. If you know Ed Milet, check this out. So when I watch an In My Life video, I'm never sitting there thinking I want to be in his house, or I'm going to walk off the same plane that he does. But I look at his story from when he was younger. I watch, what he did to, grow his business. I look at the impact he makes for other people. And those are things I can relate to. The lessons he learned from his dad, his failures in baseball as a college student when his career ended, I can relate to that. So while I don't have the plane, I may not ever want a plane, even if I had the money. I don't relate to that kind of thing in his life at this stage for me, but I relate to other things. And then I look at the impact that he makes, and I'm like, that's a level that I would like to keep growing my path to reach. Just like Kobe wanted to, in a different way, in his own way, get to levels that Jordan and Magic were achieving. And I think there's something really powerful in that. So the next time, all right, that you're feeling or having that question of, is this working? Am I doing the right thing? Is this going to be successful? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. But I challenge you, find 1 or 2 or 3 people, at least 2, 3, no, you don't necessarily need more than 3. A couple of people who are aligned with where you're going as a person and the impact that you want to make. People who've gone down that path that you want to go down. Look at the levels they've achieved, people who've made an impact and a difference. And ask yourself, what can I relate to about them, and can I get to that level? And push yourself. And maybe that'll help. Maybe asking that question and looking at the answers, not just in that moment and in that day, but in the weeks and months coming forward, maybe that will give you the clarity that you need. Maybe that will alert you and tell you, yeah, hell yeah, keep going. Or you know what? Maybe you need a different path, and that's okay too. So really think about that. And I thank Kobe for, I'm so glad that I saw that video and that clip of that interview, because it really enlightened me, because I'm human. I have those moments where I'm like, man, Scott, is this working? Is what I'm doing working? But I have points, I have people I can look at and I can gauge. And I look at the impact that I'm making now, and I look at the impact I want to create. And I'm doing a pretty good job of it, by the way. But I want to do so much more. What do you want to do? What impact do you want to create? Who are people who can be guides for you? You're not comparing yourself in a toxic way. You're looking at them in a way that you're going to be able to look within yourself and then say, can I measure up? Can I elevate myself to a place where I'm making a similar impact? And I think that'll help give you clarity. It's helping me already. I hope this helped.